Hello, welcome to Mystic Moons, late night from the mountains in the United States, seeking to find some answers and welcoming fellow seekers, fellow seers, fellow travelers of the cosmos, common sense, of intuition, of that thin line which expands us to the entire universe. You know, the United States is currently on a mission, it seems, to conquer the world, pure and simple. Everything under the United States, or at least to have a huge chunk of the world under central control. We could say it could be the New World Order. The Earth divided into thirds. One part goes to the United States, one part goes to Russia, one part goes to China, more or less. Now, for this to happen, it's going to take a lot of blood, a lot of sweat, and along with sweat and blood comes tears, anguish, giving up, reinventing. Now, in this reinvention period, we are in, a lot of old thinking is still being nurtured. Like there's a garden of thoughts. Let's just use it as a garden of thoughts. That people are never to change. I mean, if you grow potatoes, you grow potatoes, right? You don't put anything else in that field, in that soil, because that works. Now, we are in the process, all of us on the planet, of shedding, and dismissing. Now, a lot of people do not want to get rid of certain thoughts because it's comforting, it's tradition, it's what we do. Now, we find out that our tribalistic natures, of all of us have, some degree, some more, some less, that we question the future. We are short of like our ancestors and our past to a degree, as much as we can comprehend selfishly or unselfishly accept. I mean, we accept our parents for their pros and cons. We look at them as we get older or just out on our own as people or never, or not. We're not. Some people will always be their mother or their father no matter what. There will be no other role that they may have had. Same thing with parents and children. You're my child, or you are my uncle, you are my aunt, or you're my friend, or you're not my friend. So it's all these intermediate types of relationships. But beyond all that, in other words, we're territorial. This is my space. This is my space. Not yours. This is my space. Now, the United States is on this world domination thing. It's like, your space is now my space. It's kind of cute in a way, isn't it? Kind of cute. Kind of cute in an ugly, fugly, scary way. That somebody can make something so simple as what you have. Your pockets are my pockets. Your bag is my bag. I like what you have on. That's mine. You are not a free person. You are my subject, slave, serf, thing. Right? Thing. Well, we have all these ways of expressing world domination, right? And it gets more complicated. But right now, we're rumored, there's a word coming up around, floating around the bits and bytes of information, floating around in the ether, in the computerized ether, bits and bytes, that Trump has Terminator style transhuman soldiers, cyborgs, working, half human, half machine, working for him doing his bidding. There's a team. Now, it's not that hard to think about it when you think of his company, Elon Musk, and his 20K, 18 to 20K, $20,000 robots to be your little personal maid companion, and step and fetch it. 6 feet tall, hard as steel, and that's what we all want: is a big, tall, gross-looking steel humanoid machine by our side. Oh, that sounds so divine, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Of course, that's only for a certain class of person who can afford to shell out 20K plus tax for such a device. Not to mention the electrical consumption it would take to keep it charged up. Like even your cell phone, how much does that take? You got to keep charging and charging it. So it's not something that would run forever, but it's something you would plug in or charge up and charge down. And what if it overheats, like your phone often overheats? However, straying. The fact that he is buddies with Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is the world's first trillionaire. So there's a lot of things that are not shared with the masses, with the public. And one of them, except we got Hollywood. We have the Terminator movie that comes on like 10 times a week or 10 times a day, depending where you are. And we're constantly being showed the wonderfulness of enhanced humans. And of course, Elon Musk and his chip doesn't have just one chip to help you, think about it. And these things are a secret. These things are not like down the street neighbor who has a chip put in his head and he's functioning. We are talking about healthy men and women having chips in them, giving them move faster, good better sight. They are half and half. They're half machine. What do they used to call them in Star Trek? Boards? They assimilate. They're half human. They're humanoid, but yet they're machines too. And even nano machines. It doesn't have to be like, you see the hardware and the wheels like turning and hands are necessarily. I mean, if you want to have a machine-looking hand or leg or prosthesis of some sort, neck, eyeballs, whatever, that's your pleasure. How are you? So, the Borg, yes. Hello, changes. Yes. So, we're going to ask the spirits, is this true? Is this possibility that Trump can have this secret military unit? In fact, they did say when the Venezuelan soldiers have been broadcasting online that they were attacked by something they'd never seen before, never felt before. And these super fast, strange-looking, helmet-covered military humanoids had weapons at their disposal, which produced blood, which produced vomit, which made them sick. They couldn't stand, they couldn't move, they couldn't do anything. They were paralyzed. And then we also often hear Trump brag, we have technology, we have weapons that the world can only dream of. So where else are we, the people, we the curious, we who must know, seek to know, to go, but to the cosmos, the universal spirit that we all possess. So let's take a breath or two and think about the enormity of this revelation, what it would bring. Now, we're constantly still in the Flintstones Stone Age mentality. Soldiers, 1, 2, 3, up 2, 3, up 2, 3. We're into that mentality. But we do know part of our stomach brain is telling us that we are far from World War II and III type warfare. Now, we did get a glimpse of where the world is at in terms of weapons and machinery during a year plus ago, with the drones, the orbs, and we're constantly getting spacecrafts and strange vehicles, UFOs, UAPs, whatever you want to call it. It's just, unidentified flying objects, which as of yet, strangely enough, no one's really gotten the laser beam, or at least publicly. We haven't had the frying machine come out, the ray guns, stuff like that, yet. However, stories are around. But let's just ask the cosmos. Let's just ask. Does Trump have some secret force, team, squad of enhanced with machines, human men and women, that maybe their eyes are not just regular eyes. They can have enhanced vision. And I'm not talking about night vision goggles. I'm talking about something implanted in them. In other words, they are not totally biological. They went for the why not experiments. Maybe they got an extra, like right now we have bonuses if you join the military, different parts of it, domestic or foreign. Can you imagine how much bonus you would get if you agreed to put an Elon Musk implant in your eyeballs, in your brain, and in your muscular system? Or just cut off this, put in that. We do have bodyoids, which if we can grow brains, human brains, in little petri dishes, and we can grow muscles in little petri dishes, and we have teeny microscopic size nanobits all over the place, in the air, in pills. And if you were implanted with these devices and you needed an extra pump, a little electrical charge to increase your frequency, you get the idea, don't you? A lot of people would just go for it. They go, damn, I'm having that. That could make me feel important. I could really be of service if I had an implant. So, it's not so far-fetched. Certain people wouldn't find their mission to be enhanced with. So let's ask the spirits. Spirits, connect with the relaxed portion of this message, of the people that are open-minded to this possibility, and the people who realize that sci-fi movies and shows are just preparation for something that is happening now to help soften you up. It's just like violent movies, it soften you up to seeing violence too. I remember the first time I walked into a laboratory and saw dead people. This was gross anatomy, cutting up of people, dissection. No, I had never seen anybody dead before. And the first ones were like 2 people. My knees were shaking. But it was a year-long course, and I've had many cadavers, dissected, portions, heads, severed torsos, cutting up the brains, all of it. And the first time was hard to eat, hard to do this, do that, but you get used to it. You get used to it. It becomes like, you could be holding up a former person's former head or half a head, and you can just be like having a nonchalant conversation. It's just the way it happens. You get used to these things. So it's not so far-fetched that people just get used to being half human, partial human, wanting these things, doing these things, and thinking, wow, I'm really serving my country. I'm this, I'm that. This is my job. Same thing as surgeons. Surgeons speculate, but you don't really know what's inside of a person until you cut them up and look inside. And they go, oh, yeah. Of course, you have x-rays, but nothing beats taking a peek-see inside the innards in terms of the body. in terms of medicine, Western medicine, I'll put it that way. All right, now, do we or do we not? Is Trump using transhumans, Terminator style? And you know that they have had many different type of liquids too that are self-assembling, moving around. There's many advances that they do not share with the masses because the masses, well, what do they say? The masses are asses. We are not thought of to be capable of comprehending advancements. Because where would all the secrets be if you couldn't say what was on your mind? If you knew everything that everybody else knew, how could you feel like egotistical? How can we have a hierarchy of people to oh Mr. Powerful? Yes. You got some great ideas. Yes. Some people can become. Why just have two prostheses, two limbs? You can have eight. We've all seen anime. We've all read manga. I mean, which maybe they were just using a lot of papers, a lot of scientific papers, and just speculating and putting the drawings too. That's easy to do too. It's kind of fun. But not as fun when somebody is actually going out there and using their weapons on the non-informed masses. And then the whole kicker is bragging that you have these technological discoveries working for you and possessing, and nobody else has what you have. That's a big mistake. The biggest mistake of being a braggart, of bragging of what you have, is assuming that your opposition or your fellow person, your fellows, are lacking what you have. That's thinking a little too far ahead. Now, the first thing we get is strength. All right. That means a transhuman human, Terminator style soldier, is definitely a symbol of strength. Enhanced human. Enhanced human. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. Okay. So we're dealing with simple, I'm stronger than you. I'm stronger than the average human. And we're used to wrestlers, we're used to sports guys, things like this, but this is different. This is different. This is mechanical. And this we have is the Ten of Swords. Strength and the Ten of Swords. It's almost as though using these, making machines out of people, half and half human, half machine, is torturous, is something that is used for a purpose that is not bliss, that is not to warfare. We'll just look. It's kind of interesting so far, right? Using it for war. This could be the symbol, the Ten of Swords of war. And when you put the chips and the nano pieces inside a human, once human, they're no longer human. So what are they good for? They're strong. They're weapons. They're weapons. And we can unleash our special team, and they can be programmed. Whoa. We picked out and get the vibration for the Tower. Now, these special force, this special Terminator force, they have lost their humanity. Right? And where are this Tower? This force is for killing, subduing. The true number of how many people were killed by these, maimed or killed, subdued by this Terminator squad that landed in Caracas and other parts of Venezuela and kidnapped Maduro, which he brags. They brag. kind of heavy. This is the kind of strength. We're dealing in very turbulent times. Very, very turbulent times. And then we have the Eight of Wands. Lots of energy for destruction. Lots of energy for destruction. You see that? What we have so far? Strength. The Ten of Swords. The Tower. To bring down anyone else that's not machine and part human. Super soldiers. Would you like to fight a Terminator? We've all seen the movies. Are they just so far out or so far? How far would we get with somebody who has synthesized muscles, synthetic arms and legs and fingers, half synthetic? How far would you get if something hit you with the impact of 50 miles an hour? It could. It's possible. Right? Are you feeling it? And then we have the Ten of Cups. That's the idea. That's a good idea. How far can you get? So now we're going towards robotics, drones, synthesized, transhuman soldier team. That's it. We'll give you extra money if you synthesize and you become half synthetic. The real person. That's an excellent team. We've had it. We've been working on it for quite a while. And then we have the Nine of Wands. It's a lot of danger in this. These are prototypes in action. This was their time. This is their time, which is why Trump is saying we'll go after Mexico, we'll go after Colombia, we'll go after Greenland, we'll go after Iran, we'll go after Syria. We'll go after anybody that stands in our way because we are supersized. We are Captain Marvels. We are no longer totally vulnerable to biology. We are biotech people who are going to get you, and you are powerless. And we salute this team of Terminators. Terminator style military unit. Terminator style military unit. Now, the point is, does China not have the same thing? Does Russia not have the same thing? Do you think that only English-speaking scientists, military personnel, craft such vulgarities to exist? Huh? Do you think that are you limited in thinking that your leader tells you, your president, our president tells us, we're the greatest? That's the number one mistake is thinking, believing that your enemy is less. Dehumanizing, puffing up yourself, dehumanizing your enemy. At least give your enemy more credit, because then you become super sharp. But going around saying, I am the king of, I am the emperor, I am the new what? This is the question for 80 for 2026, the year of the horse. This is a problem that not only the people of the United States have, the people of the Western Hemisphere have. The world of secrets, the world of ambition, to feel the thrill of power, to make people shake, that is something spiritual of another plane. Very few humans, it doesn't matter what other beings you're in touch with, whatever beings from other planets, interdimensional, it does not matter. The point is you allow yourself to go there and cause pain, to go there and cause torture to your fellows, to your fellow humans. So, it seems as though something is up. Something besides having Space Force, all the many trillions, billions, millions of dollars that have disappeared in these special projects. And no accountability. There's two worlds, two main worlds that we're all forced to be part of and live with. You know what they are. It's kind of uncomfortable to think of having a bunch of mad robots that look like you and I, that are like, they got some human parts and they have non-human parts going around being set upon us, wherever us may be, humans, regular humans. It's no longer a matter of just beefing up to go to the gym and lifting weights and becoming stronger and stronger and stronger on one level, on the physical level. But it's a matter of injecting yourself with synthetic devices. Synthetic devices. And of course, we know they have those suits, like those Batman suits that give you speed and strength and stuff like that. But we're talking about a suit and organism, human biology, person integration. And are they doing this? Of course, I have no way of confirming and no way of denying it either. But these ideas have been floating around culture of all of us, all over the planet, all over the planet, all over the planet. And you don't have to look like a Gundam to be able to have all these devices, all these abilities incorporated into your biology. We know that. We know that. And for those of us who don't want to accept that, it's still fact. It's still fact. Thank you for the hearts. Well, it's unrestful. It's unrestful to think that there's certain groups of leaders who would put their robotic hit squad anywhere, everywhere. And all they do is have to charge them up. Get their batteries good for like 36 hours, program them, monitor them with a 24/7 camera attached to their body, and feed them directives from a safe place. I mean, what do you think? You think we're in the age of, charge, people taking wars or taking batons, fighting each other like, Civil War days, the British, some kind of colonial thing going on? It doesn't seem likely. People are too smug. Politicians are too smug. They're too demanding. We're gonna you're gonna bend the knee. But the point is, it's very, very dangerous because China, that eastern part, hemisphere of the world, has said, you want war? You want war? I'll give you war. They said we won't fire the first shot, but you won't get a chance to do the second one. There's threats, and China has all as well has said, I'll give you 72 hours to do X, Y, and Z. Those hours have passed. It's kind of scary. It is scary. It's not kind of, it is scary. And to feel that there's no end in sight. No end in sight. They want to show off. Trump, the administration wants to show off its almighty androids, cyborgs, half human, half machine teams, and encourage other humans to put the chips, the nanobits, the parts in them to join the almighty rah, rah, rah. Hello. Hello, Real Reds. Yes, this is what's happening. People aren't going to sit by and let the Trump administration, I mean, even common sense tells them and us, whomever, everyone, that nobody's going to sit around and let you have be on a war path. Oh, my cats are in the background trying to do warfare. Well, this is the thing. And what are you going to do in the meantime? Are we having a call for peace? Are we going to a cessation of this insanity, of this land grabs, mineral grabs, power grabs? Who says that one should be king, one should be emperor? We are not evolving on a certain level, a level that affects our food, our shelter, our sanity. No. We're just sitting back, eating popcorn, potato chips, hamburgers, french fries, falafels, whatever. And we're saying, we're watching the scene. And we're having one atrocious comment after another. We're having one power grab after another. That's how high and how much people have bought into technology as though it is the great whatever. The combination, the whole purpose is to have humans and machines combination. And this, what's happening now in Venezuela, what's happening in Iran, what's happening elsewhere, Mexico perhaps, Colombia, Syria, is showing the force of the power of the combination human, of the half machine, half biology person. As well as having robots, drones. Drones are big time drones. And more, the air gets toxic, the water is toxic. We become unable to survive, unable to think without having machine assistance. Right direction? Low energy, low energy, low energy. It's pretty, the base of this is probably very scary. It's probably something from 3-Eye Atlas that they keep on trying to go, oh, it didn't happen, or it was just this and space rocks. But why is there all assault for bravado, strength, show of force? Why now? Why now? Why now? Is it easier now? Things are falling apart. Slope, yes. It's disintegrating on a daily basis. Because how much fear, paranoia, and sadness can anyone consume without becoming diseased? Diseased. Hopeless. It's like we have this huge planet, and it seems to be, there could be only one. One this, one that, one this, one that. That's when you have globalism, you have too much and you can't see anymore. You become blind with your bulk. Well, if you have any comments, what do you think? Do you feel that these super soldiers are going to be knocking on your door and making you say, where were you? You can't come out. You'll be on your street corners. They don't need to have sleep anymore. They're around the clock because they are no longer, they're testing them out in little spurts. More robots. We already have robot dogs in our cities doing police work. We also have robots all over the place. All over the place. And we've seen the cute little ones, the ugly ones, and the humanoid ones, the interpersonal ones. But we haven't seen the lookers yet. We haven't seen the real lookers. And we know that some of these robots have dog heads, monkey heads, on human bodies, cow heads. Why not? Does it have to be always a Homo sapien head? No, it can be anything. And then we can mix them all. There are things going on, experiments that are no longer experiments. They're facts of life. Facts of life. Yes, the Boston Dynamic robots. They're everywhere. They're in all the cities. I don't even know why they have ICE going around the American cities. People, men and women going around with masks over their heads, but they can just send out the robot dogs. Put out the robots. I mean, why are they hiding them? Is that for the big opening, the big 4th of July, the big awakening? You don't have to have a big, they weren't looking for some kind of event to show what we have. Or maybe they're trying to wait. They're trying to gaslight the masses in terms of recruitment. Well, already we know that you have to be enhanced. And then, two, how do you know when you join these military regimes, these units, that they're not enhancing your food, your drink, your air with nanoparticulates to make you part of their super soldiers? You don't know. You can speculate, though. Out of the box thinking is the best type of thinking. Because that is what the universe is all about. If you have any comments, thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the aja. Put down your thoughts. Think about this. Bragging. One thing our president likes to do is brag. I got. Secrets are hard to keep by him. Secrets are revealed by people who like to brag. Because they just are so overjoyed with their possessions. It's just their way. And then they can't help but using them. It's like when you first discover that you could light something with a mechanical lighter, as opposed to striking a match, as opposed to rubbing two sticks together. Huh? There's secrets. The secrets become open secrets. I think we can very well say that we have the idea of having Terminator style robots. Military team, robotic, half human, making a lot of woo, that's the goal. But still we have to be wary because these are our new breed, a new breed of controlled organisms and mechanics. What is what? Transhumans. Transhumans are running around. And you could say anybody that has a tooth filling is a transhuman. You could say that. Well, you could say it even more if they had something more put in that filling in your tooth. You don't know. You don't know, but it's more complicated than that. Because these are machines for the military. Machines for the military. This is not just putting yourself because you lost the ability to walk into a wheelchair. No, it's beyond that. Military is to kill, conquer, destroy, fight. And now that we're having the whole entire globe, the earth being the earth, our almost circular wobbly earth being the prize, the stakes have gone up. The stakes have gone up. Well, think about your stake and what you're prepared to accept. Think about, realize. Well, yes. And now we're turning into a military, like a kind of like a technological Sparta of ancient civilization. Gone are the philosophies, gone are the arts, gone are this and that. We have war, 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 war. Might makes right. Mm-mm, doesn't. Might without righteous caring. And I don't mean caring that you're the best and the biggest, and I've got the biggest share of the prize, because I know my mouth glands, my senses tell me I know how to use things better than you know how to use things. And that's the bottom line of the entirety of greed and power. Somebody else says, I can make use of your stuff better than you can. Better than you can.